So today we're gonna have a nice conversation with Monica Bernes, who's gonna come here in a second. I'm gonna wait for her before we can begin. Here she is. And we're gonna talk about brain-friendly strategies for learning languages. And now, let's see when she arrives. And there she is.
Gloria.
Hello.
Hello. Gloria,
Glad
how
to
are
have you
you?
here. Thank you for participating and thank you for giving me and us your time, your precious time to talk about such an important topic. I really wanted to have you here with me.
It's a pleasure.
So,
It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. You know that we have many things in common in being with our learners and in the way we see this learning process, language learning. So it's a pleasure to be here with you, Gloria.
thank you. So, do you mind telling us something about yourself, your background, and what you do, where do you come from, professionally speaking?
Okay. Well, I think both of you are Mediterranean, right, Gloria? So this is also something we have in common. You are Italian, and I come from Barcelona. Well, actually, I come from a very tiny village near Barcelona. And since I was a child, I love languages. So I started traveling in order to learn English, then to learn German. So traveling and learning languages was my passion, let's say. And when I started growing, then I decided that I wanted to keep on being connected with the language learning and connecting different cultures also. But maybe they couldn't connect because they didn't speak the same language. So I decided to study translation and interpreting, English and German, and then I specialized in conference interpreting, in politics, enlightenment, well, philosophy, and ethics. And after that, I came back to Barcelona. I decided to work in the publishing industry for many years, like 15 years. And I also help CEOs to improve their English skills. And in 2011, I decided to create my own business of language learning and online. And I decided to work worldwide. So I could accompany, as I said, CEOs or entrepreneurs or people who had very specific language needs in order to succeed. And I started with Spanish and Catalan. And in 2018, I met Rachel Marie Pelling, and then I accredited with her as a neurolanguage coach. And from then on, I am mixing language learning with coaching techniques and neuroscience techniques. And neurolanguage coaching is a method accredited by the International Coaching Federation. So they can learn what they want, the way they want to learn it, and it's a very efficient and effective way to learn a language. And apart from a neurolanguage coach, I am also a life coach, and my program is called Coaching in Feminine, and it's coaching targeted and thought especially for women, all from Barcelona to the world, Gloria.
So, staying in the language field, can you tell me a
Mm-hmm.
bit more about what is your neurolanguage coaching about? How do you use it? What are the main characteristics of this method, and who do you work with in particular?
Yes, so new language coaching is a method, as I said, elaborated by Rachel Marie Pelling. This was 12 years ago, and it's accredited by the International Coaching Federation. So we blend language learning with coaching techniques and neuroscience. So also we are very aware about how the brain learns, reacts, and blocks sometimes when learning a language. So first of all, I'm going to tell you, to share with you what we don't do. So I don't tell you what to learn. I don't tell you how you should learn. I don't tell you according to your language level what units you should learn. So first unit 1, then unit 2. I am not going to tell you or to explain you any grammar. You are going to tell me, and I'm not going to tell you how you should and what you should focus in, right? And I'm not going to use books, and I'm not going to let's say to encourage you to use my material, right? This is what I'm not going to do. As a neurolanguage coach, what I'm going to do first is listen to what you need. This is very important because it's you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to place you in the center of your learning universe. So, first of all, our communication and our relationship is going to be equal, an equal status between coach-coachee. This is something different than from a teacher to a learner, right? Teacher-learner, coach-coachee. This is the first thing. And then, as I said, I'm going to ask you, active listening, what do you need? What do you want to achieve? You really want to achieve? What is your learning style? Maybe you say, I don't know. And when you say I don't know, it's because nobody has asked you before how you want to learn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? What you need and want to learn. Also very important. What and how. What is your inner motivation, your real motivation for learning? The motivation that will keep with you during all your learning process. With the bad times, with the good times, because we know we are going to have blockages. Life is like that. So reminding you about your inner motivation is going to be very, very powerful. And also, when this is clear, then we are going to put everything into SMART goals. So it's very, very, very clear what you need to do, what you want to do, how you want to do it, and for how long. Into a SMART goal, specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and time-bound. And you are going to tell me when you think you have achieved your goal. All this related to language learning. So you have a clear learning path. And you are, of course, then in control of your learning life.
And it's a game changer, because coming from the traditional school system, we were told, do this, do that, and be prepared by that date. Otherwise, you're a failure. Or,
Exactly.
well, indirectly, but that was the message that arrived constantly. And most of the time, I don't know you, but I felt like I needed more time to juggle everything. I used to say, people who follow me maybe already know that, number one, I'm not patient. Number two, I'm not fast. And remember that feeling of, I need more time. I cannot process everything like so quickly. I need time. And that program was devastating me. It was too much. I just cannot do it. So now the question, how do you want to learn? It's like it would be as I said before, a game changer for me. If someone asked me, how do you want to learn?
Exactly. And maybe you would say, I don't know.
Huh?
I don't know. Because you are scared. You have been given the responsibility to decide. And when you are responsible and you decide, then you're responsible for your decision, for your action, and for your result.
Totally.
Okay, and you're saying that in an indirect way, maybe they were telling us what to do, or maybe in a direct way, because it was easier to have a class with the same learning patterns. But it has been seen that every single brain is unique. So if you need more time, you need more time. If you don't need more time, you don't need more time. That's why it's very interesting, because when you as a coachee have your clear learning path, sometimes you say, well, I said I wanted to have 2 sessions, for instance, in present simple, but I'm sensing that with one is going to be enough. So we rechanged the learning plan, the learning path, because I don't need this time anymore. And I want this time to be focused in something else that was the next goal. So you are, as a coachee, you are responsible for saying in a measurable way when this goal is clear for you and you don't need it anymore because you can handle it according to what you already have and you feel comfortable with it. So it's important to understand that usually the language you want to learn, you need this language in order to achieve something bigger. You might have an end goal. You might need to communicate with a team. You might need to change a country and speak another language. You have an end goal. And you know yourself better than anybody else. And that's what neurolanguage coaching is perfect for. So you after the needs analysis, the first session we do together, you leave this session with 2 months of sessions. So knowing exactly what grammar goals you want to learn, how you want to learn them, for how long, and also the vocabulary, so the mastery goals you want to learn. And then we also talk about the spacing, how you want to include all this information, checking the goals. So you always know where you are. And this uncertainty that you might have had at the beginning before starting this learning path in new language coaching, this uncertainty disappears because maybe you came and said, I want to be fluent in Spanish, Monica. And I say, okay, what is fluent for you, Gloria? And then we start having a coaching conversation and we start putting your goal, your abstract goal into a smart, clear goal. When you have an abstract goal, you have an abstract result. When you have a clear language goal, you have a clear language result. And it's measurable. It's measurable.
This is the big question. What does fluent mean? I've seen this word so many times that I don't know you, but I haven't been able to find the definition so far. What's fluent?
This is very personal.
Right.
This is very personal, right? So that's why I'm saying, what is fluent for you? Because what is not the same meaning for me, and you are my coachee. So I'm interested in your definition, not in mine.
It's too vague, in my opinion. But fluent, what does it mean? And many people think, okay, fluent means knowing this amount of words or talking in that kind of situation. And for me, maybe, well, I cannot even find a definition, but probably it's being able to manage different types of situations, even if you don't remember everything. But fluency, seriously, it's such a vague terminology, and it really needs to be redefined on a personal level.
It's abstract. It's very abstract. And when we talk in an abstract sense, we have an abstract result and we cannot measure it. So our brain doesn't really understand if he has achieved what he wanted to achieve.
Right.
And then is when we have uncertainty, then is when we don't feel responsible, then is when our self-esteem is not as it should be. So let's put things very, very clear from the beginning. So we as holistic learners and human beings always feel that we are responsible for what we are doing and also responsible for what we are achieving, because we want autosufficient learners. We don't want to have in new language coaching learners forever and ever. We want them to achieve their goals. Our sessions are value for money oriented, are very focused. And that's why we talk about language objectives. We don't talk about units, or we don't talk about different other terms that might be used in teaching, because we are coaches targeted not only in how these sessions are delivered. So we place you at the center of your learning universe, and you're responsible for what you're learning, but also in how you know you want to learn it, and how you know you learn better, and how also you know you want to be corrected. This is something very important. when and how you want to be corrected, what are the type of words and the type of communication I am going to use with you so your brain is calm. So my responsibility as a new language coach is to create the perfect learning state so you learn. And the most important thing here, and now more than ever, is to keep the brain calm. To keep the brain calm, to keep the heart happy, and to keep the body rested and in peace, right? So, because we are not some organs, we are a holistic human being and learner, and we are eclectic. So maybe I'm better in writing and I'm worse in speaking, or you know, I am not an A1 of everything and in all the different skills. So we also have to take this into account. So having this perfect learning state, so you as my coachee are focused, are determined, and all your energy and focus is placed in your session, it's vital. And this is my responsibility as a coach, to know how to use these techniques so you are where you really are. All of you are there, okay, with no distractions, with full attention, and therefore with full achievement, because what you want is to succeed, and therefore you have to work. And as you work, you need to focus, and in order to focus, you need to be present. In order to be present, you need to be there. So all of you, brain, heart, body, everything has to be there. And this is my job, that this happens.
Amazing. And what kind of people do you have? What kind of clients do you work with the most?
Well, actually, something that amazed me the first time I started being a neurolanguage coach, and I'm going to be very honest here, and I have been a language specialist for many years, but I was still scared, and I have to admit that, right? I'm going to share my vulnerability with you. Before being a neurolanguage coach, I always was scared when I had an A1. I was like, oh my God, what I'm going to do with this person is an A1, is an A1. What sort of material should I prepare? Is an A1, is an A1. He or she doesn't understand anything about Spanish or Catalan. Now, it's okay. No worries. Why? Because I am not focused about me. I'm focused about my coachee. And now I have different levels. For instance, and very different objectives and perspectives. For instance, I have a journalist. One of my coaches is a journalist from a very prestigious media related to a very prestigious, let's say, sport worldwide. And he needs a particular language. I'm not going to say Spanish or Catalan in order to do interviews. So we focus on that. We focus on that. All the activities this coachee designed for his or her learning path are targeted to that. There are some other coaches, for instance, who want to talk to family members from a different country, that live in different country, that have a different language. So we're going to focus on that, on eating, on conversation, on traveling, on intercultural differences. So really, really depends on the objective. Some other entrepreneurs that want to collaborate with people from different countries, expats that have changed the country. And now it's not only the country, but the language, the traditions, the culture, and CEOs that have to deal with people from a language that they don't speak, and different levels, completely different levels. And one thing is always there. You as a coachee are in the center of your learning universe. And this means that you learn, that you say, that you do. And all the material and all the content is related to you, because you tell me what you want. And from your perspective, your content, your idea, the sessions are completely done. And not only in this tailor-made sense, but also in the way you are a better learner. Therefore, also the neuroscience here is taken into place. So every session is especially and only for you, for your brain, for your heart, for your mind, for you as a holistic learner.
Yeah, you said it right. You have to be at the center of your learning experience. The more you take a responsibility, the better it will be. And
Because
it's been
it's not
demonstrated that you learn more effectively when you learn actively. Otherwise, I can explain you, well, we talked about verbs before when we were talking privately, but you can explain me the Spanish conjugations 100 times correctly, and after that I will be like, okay, yeah, right. But with this method, I don't have the light bulb moment, the moment when I internalize the rule. So why is it important to be active when you learn something and ask yourself questions and observe? And it's really powerful when someone is in charge of
exactly,
their learning.
exactly. I don't talk to my coachee. I don't tell you anything. I speak with you in the same level, and I ask you questions. If, for instance, if we are focused into grammar, I ask you questions. So you tell me what you know about a specific grammar point. You tell me the endings, for instance, of the present simple.
Mm-hmm.
I ask you also about the usage. Then we go into a brain-friendly conversation, and I ask you about how you can connect this with your language, because this is very important. So you understand, your brain understands that how it's connected, the information it already has with the new information that you are asking it to learn. Because one thing is very important to understand: the brain is not here to make us happy. The brain is here to protect us. So every single thing that is new, the brain is going, it's normal that it blocks out because it's unknown. And then it's when fear comes into place. Why? Because the amygdala protects us, and the prefrontal cortex stops thinking, and all the blood literally in the body is not in the brain anymore when we are scared, but it goes into our articulations, into our joints, into our muscles. Why? Because we are prepared to run. All the focus is in the body, not in the brain anymore, because the brain is very, very primitive.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing here is, in a calm way, in a brain-friendly way, start step by step asking questions. So you as a coachee, as a language coachee, start understanding different concepts. Start making connections with your language, mother language, and with the new language. So you by yourself start understanding the differences and the things that are similar, the similarities. And after having this grasp, this clear grasp about this grammar topic you are learning, then directly going into a conversation. So you and I can have a conversation to implement and solidify what you have just learned. And you're always doing while you are explaining the grammar to me, and while you and I are having a conversation. So honestly, now I'm talking a lot in this interview, but when I work, I don't talk that much because my coachee is 80% of the time talking, and I am 20%. And if it's better if I am less than 20%. This means that you as a coachee are doing all the time, and I am guiding you towards where you want to go. This is what I do. And this is very efficient because you know that you are always in control,
Awesome.
always. And you feel that. And at the end of every session, I always ask you also, what are you taking from this session? And also from every single activity, what have you learned about this activity? So I'm always striving from your information, so you verbalize it. And when you verbalize it, it's clear to you because it comes from you.
Yeah.
It's all about you. It's all about you.
And you have a hard moment, you remember what you were able to achieve.
Exactly.
You trick your brain, sort of, like, hey, this is not going that bad. This is just a moment because I was able to do this and that and the other thing.
Exactly.
Right.
And always placing into positive, always thinking about in positive, because sometimes, and it's also, this is also important because we know new language coaches how to deal with blockages. Because sometimes, and this is very common, in language learning. Sometimes a learner comes to you and says, oh, Monica, I'm so bad at the simple past. I am horrible. So we as former trainers would say, Gloria, don't worry, but you're very good. You did the exercises perfect. You are learning. Give you time. Don't worry, you're doing it well. Well, this is, we are doing it from the heart. It's true. And this might be seen as empathy, but I am putting my mind back here, and I am rejecting the feeling that my coachee has, that you as coachee have. And that this doesn't help you because it's my opinion against your opinion. What is this useful for? So in neurolanguage coaching, we're aware of this. Okay, Gloria, I'm sensing that you are having some troubles with the simple past. May I ask you how do you feel? And then you tell me how you feel. May I ask you how would you like to feel? You tell me how you would like to feel. What activities do you think you could have in your new language coaching sessions in order to feel the way you want? So you work towards achieving what you want. So we are aware, we are empathic at the beginning, but we are also aware of compassion, the communication and the type of conversations we need to have with our coachees in order to finish with these blockages and start going towards where they want to go. And so they learn what they want to learn, but not rejecting the blockages, but being aware of them, placing them on the table, and then knowing how to do this mind shift. Yeah. So then they are aware of what they can do.
And changing their mind from I'm so bad at this to how can I learn it?
Exactly.
Because there's no proof that you cannot learn it.
Exactly. Everybody can learn. And it's only the idea of trying to make the coachee understand, or making you understand as a coachee, that you have the key of your learning path. And it's question of connecting with yourself, with your motivation, with what you really want to learn, with how you want to learn it. So you find this key and unblock this learning that maybe it was quite difficult before. So you are all you need to have in order to learn. And that's why the structure we use in our sessions that is very coaching based is so powerful, because it gives you certainty, and the brain needs certainty to learn. Because when you have certainty, you feel empowered. When you feel empowered, of course, there are blockages, but you don't really see them. They get diluted because you are focused on actioning and finding solutions, not in going again and again after your blockages. So it's a completely different mind perspective. It's a different perspective. And that's why it's so efficient.
Becomes a challenge, and it's different, you know?
Exactly.
Obstacle already. I don't know how to deal with it. When you think of it as a challenge, you're like, okay, let's do it.
And you say, I am going to do it. As a coach, you say, I am going to do it because I know what I want to learn. I know how long I want, how much time I want to invest in that. I know how I can learn it. Therefore, I'm going to do it. Because you are very focused. and always connected with your inner motivation, intrinsic motivation, because this is also something that's very interesting in our sessions. We really go into deep into the intrinsic motivation. What makes you really, really want to learn this? But it depends on you and only you. So we always keep you connected to this inner motivation. So really you cannot, well, actually you cannot, you don't want to escape, because usually, yeah, because this is a problem. There are some learners that maybe they are scared of talking, and we are very aware of that. So we are very aware of that, and that's why you don't really want to escape, because you feel comfortable. The xenoglossophobia I'm talking here about, it's very common. You feel blocked, maybe as a learner, when you really want to speak. But we know how to deal with these situations. We know how to do that. So you really achieve what you want. And may I say that now we live in a big, small world. So learning languages, it's really very important in order to connect. Because you can learn English, you can speak English, yes, but if you speak Spanish or if you speak another language, really, when you go deeply into the heart of the person you are talking to. And this makes a big difference in connection, in communication, in business, in everything.
This is what I was looking for when I moved to Spain. I wanted to learn. Well, if I'd known these techniques before, it would have been much easier for me. But at the time, I was so frustrated, and I wanted to connect so deeply with people, because it was super important for me to make new friends and make connections. Exactly. This is what I was interested in. So this is why we jump into the language learning world, and ultimately making connections or talking about sharing interests. That's our ultimate goal at the end of the day.
Exactly. And first of all, in order to do these outside connections that we want to do, first we have to connect with ourselves. But that's why it's so important, right? To understand what we really want and what do we need the language for. So it's more efficient, it's more effective, and you feel that the language you need to learn is the language that you know. And then you will be able to make these connections, because brains are wired to connect. Online, face-to-face, whenever you want it or you can do it, but we are wired as human beings to connect. And the way we express ourselves, this is a big connection. And now more than ever. So I'm very happy to see my coaches advance. I'm very happy to see my coaches, I don't want to say to leave, because I like them, but when they say, well, Monica, I achieved all my goals, then they say, well, I have a friend who could be your coachee, and then I have a new coachee, and they leave, because they have all the tools they need in order to achieve what they wanted to achieve, right? So I'm happy, sad, let's say, but this is my purpose. That they achieve what they want. Definitely.
This is where we have done a good job, when the client goes happy, of course.
Exactly. Yeah. Well, actually, I don't see it in another way. Yeah, when I said that here she goes, yes, it's because I am not needed there anymore, right? So you as a coachee, a language coachee, you feel that you can do what you wanted to do. And you were not able to do it when you came for the first time. Like Mary Poppins, Carla, yes. And Carla is a mindfulness professional, and I really love her. And it's true, like Mary Poppins. And if I may say, if I may use a metaphor, it's like when they come to the sessions, I see their light. because every single person has his or her personal life. So I see the resources on my coaches, the tools that you might have as a coachee, but maybe you are not aware of them as a coachee. This is the difference. But when you leave, you are very aware of the language you know, you're very aware of what you have learned, you're very aware how you can communicate with it, you're very aware of what you are going to achieve. You are aware of so many things, but above all, of your resources. So you can walk alone and achieve your end goal that you couldn't before learning the language. So yes, like Mary Poppins, Carla, I agree. It's true.
I have one more interesting question. I really want to ask you this. Can you tell me a common mistake that we as language learners make when we try to approach a language on our own? And what do you recommend to fix that mistake?
Honestly, none. None, because you have said that we want to approach to a language, right? This is a positive objective. So if it's positive, then fantastic. So here, I sense for what you are saying that the coachee has a positive objective. So you as a coachee know what you want. So then, if we could transform mistake for what is missing, if you could allow me to do that. So what is missing is to know the how, and that's it. Because you already know the what for. You know what, well, you know what you want to do. Then we will really need to know what for and how. And then this will be fantastic. And going, talking about mistakes, that this is a lovely subject. I love this word mistakes. So let's talk about mistakes. Okay, Gloria, let's
I'm
talk about
starting my
mistakes.
battle against this word. we can have another session about it.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to, yes, but I'm going to be very short, very quick, because this is a topic that could bring some controversy. I know. But honestly, we are here, and I'm going to explain it in a very simple way, I hope. We have a comfort zone, okay? So where we are, where we are, and we have no trouble in general, but we're not happy there, okay? That's why in language learning, we want to learn, right? And this implies that your comfort zone is going to be stretched. So we have to give us permission in order to learn. This is the first thing. So, and when you give yourself permission in order to learn, you give yourself permission to make mistakes. And giving yourself permission is very important, because if not, you're going to think that you are bad, you're going to think that you are not going to make it. And then, of course, you're not going to make it, because what you think is what you feel. And then accordingly, you're going to react, and see the result. Now, if you give you permission, and if you understand that these mistakes that you are doing are giving you the possibility to improve, then you are seeing them as a treasure. And moreover, when you understand, because this is what we do in neurolanguage coaching, when you understand where these mistakes come from, then this is a gift. Because you understand how your brain works, how your structures are placed in your brain, in what way, therefore, you said what you said. Then you find an explanation. And when you verbalize it, then your brain feels calm. Why? Because you know the why. The brain needs to know the why. The brain needs to understand in order to calm himself. Because, okay, I'm safe. Okay, I understand. Okay, now it's clear. So it's always going step by step, but stretching this comfort zone. So I love mistakes. To finish with this question, I love mistakes. Without mistakes, we don't learn.
Gloria says mistakes are good opportunities. Totally. They're amazing opportunities.
Yes, exactly. And it's up to you. Because
Yeah.
opportunities means that it's everything is up to you. You either take these opportunities or you don't take them. If you don't take them, you always feel, oh wow, that's a mistake, I was so bad, and that's it. But when you take them as opportunities, okay, what do I want to do with them? How do I want to transform them? How can they be transformed into what I want, into the type of language I want to talk, right? Into the type of grammar I want to write or want to use, right? So it's a beginning. Give yourself permission to learn, please. Give your brain the time. Respect your brain, respect yourself. See mistakes as your first learning tool. And then you will keep on making mistakes and you will keep on learning. Because with no
At the end of the
mistakes,
day,
no learning.
it's about making hypotheses, check them, be flexible to change your mind, and see how things really are. I mean,
And checking is so important because this
yeah,
is something we also do. Because when you as a coachee work into for instance, a grammar goal or a vocabulary goal, growth mindset, Paola, yes, Paola is a great new language coach as well. Exactly, growth mindset. So understanding that this is part of the process and that you have the responsibility and the capability of keep on growing. And it depends on you. On you. The power is placed on you, not at the outside world. This makes a difference. Well, this is the difference. This is the difference. This is the real difference. And all these concepts we are talking about here, all they are related into language learning. All they are placed into language learning. So it's coaching a structure plus knowing how you feel more comfortable learning, how you feel more comfortable being corrected, how you feel more comfortable in what sort of activities you want to do, what sort of consolidation activities you would like to do too. It's all and everything and only about you. And therefore, it's you who also succeeds.
incredible.
How good is that? How good is that? And then, excuse me, it's not only about language learning that it is, of course, but this has a huge impact on you as a person, on your self-esteem, on your responsibility, on then knowing how to handle big goals that might come into your mind, and then you know how to transform them into Kaizen goals, small goals, or SMART goals, because you are used to do it in your language learning process all the time, and checking and rechecking and seeing the goal from different perspectives. So really is really empowering. And the coaching we use is completely non-directive. That's why this method, the new language coaching method, is accredited by the ICF, the International Coaching Federation. And this gives us, well, you can understand that what you are contracting when you come and see us and ask us to be near you, so you achieve what you really want in language learning.
Awesome. Thank you for taking your time to share your knowledge and
It's a
expertise with us.
pleasure.
Can you tell us if you have plans for the future, which ones? Boiling the pot, as we say in Italy.
Sorry, what do you say? What do you say?
What's boiling in the pot? I mean, what is going on? What are you up to?
Okay. Well, first of all, as we are in pre-Christmas time, if it's okay for you, I would like to share with the people who are listening to us that if you go to the languagecoachingcertification.com website, you can have more information about what we're discussing about neuro language coaching. And you can have free webinars there, so you can have more information there. And also, if you are a language learner, you can Google Neurolanguage Coaching and efficient language learning, and you will see that we are 700 people worldwide and in 70 countries. Yeah, it's not about me, it's about the team that Rachel Marie Pelling has created, and I am a representative, happy representative in Spain. So just to give you some information and some food for thought, right? The future. Well, Gloria, I am a neurolanguage coach and I am a life coach, as you know, too, and I love coaching. I am a coaching passionate, and my future for me is focused in coaching. I am also a trainer of trainers, and maybe in a couple of years also I'm going to focus in training. But now, at the moment, coaching is my life, coaching is my professional world. So accompanying my coaches to achieve what they want, the way they want to achieve what they want to achieve, and respecting their chronos and kairos. So with a non-directive coaching, very respectful and very challenging at the same time. And I have life coaching, as you know, coaching in feminine is a very Socratic, meiotic coaching, also targeted and thought for women especially. So I blend coaching with neurohormonality, cognitive abilities, cognitive therapy adapted to coaching. So it's for thoughts for women and targeted to women. This is according to coaching. I have coaches worldwide, and now I am also interested in exploring different continents, like for instance Africa. So this would be, I'm not going to say this would be a dream, because this is something I'm already working towards achieving. And I have very nice, friendly colleagues there too. This is related to coaching and related to neurolanguage coaching. Well, it's a privilege to be a neurolanguage coach. It's a privilege to be able to see my coaches advance. So I would like to be the way I am at the moment, and to make it last as much as I can, and also to keep on connecting with people like you who give me the possibility to share my little world, Gloria. So thank you.
Let's make this year last forever. Not for what happened this year, but for what happened to your personal and professional life.
Yes.
Many
Okay. Yeah.
only on that side.
On that side, yes, definitely. Yeah. Very excited, honestly. I understand. I know you love me, Gloria. I know you love me. I love you too. Yes, and a lot of peace, a lot of hope, a lot of love to everybody, to all the world, a lot of light and a lot of strength and resilience for us.
And for the world. Thank you.
You're welcome, Gloria.
Well, thank you so much for being here. It's been amazing with you. And then I'm also going to upload this interview on YouTube and on LinkedIn if someone missed it. And it's going to be on Facebook as well. So you're not going to miss Monica.
Ok, grazie, Gloria. Grazie per tutti. De nada. Un abrazo. Gracias.
Thank you.
Sí, you're welcome. Un abrazo. Adiós.
Bye.
Adiós.